The Hearse has been a very important part of the Invictas too. You know, like back in the 60s, we drove around in a 1955 Cadillac Hearse. And a friend of yours, Dave, painted it all up for us.
We bought it used from a junkyard, I believe, and had it painted, and he did all the graphics, and it really came out beautifully.
Had racing stripes on it?
Racing stripes. It was a great looking vehicle. In fact, we even raced it one time. We brought it to Spencer Speedway, and we drag raced it. And there really was no other car in its category. So one of the owners had a Buick station wagon. One of the owners of Spencer Speedway had a Buick station wagon. Created a new category for us, which was like the X cars. And we drag raced a Buick and lost. But it was great. It was a great promotional piece for us.
The other thing that
crowd loved us.
We remember is driving it. I think we were going to Buffalo one time, and we didn't realize you had to put oil in the thing, and it burned oil, and the engine seized on the thruway, the New York State Thruway. And Mark, our original guitar player, got out, and there wasn't much traffic or something, and he's out jumping around on the thruway until a state trooper happened to come by on the other side. He actually got a ticket, and it said on a ticket, "Dancing on the Thruway," and he got a ticket for that. I'll never forget that. Mark is the only guy in history that got a ticket for dancing on the thruway.
And he had to come back and go to court in this little town, and needless to say, the people in the court and the judge got a big kick out of Mark's ticket for dancing on the thruway.
And now, in putting...
I think they didn't fine him.
They didn't fine him.
They let him off.
It's still a classic, though. You were doing what? I was dancing on the thruway. You mean that's against the law?
Yeah, I know. You should be allowed, right? Now, when we put the band back together, we had to get another hearse. I mean, you can't do it with pictures. I mean, the Invictas have to have a hearse. So, you know, we had quite a discussion amongst the guys in the band. Did we really need another hearse? I felt that it was important. So, surfed the internet, found a hearse with a customized back seat in it in Oklahoma City. Actually owned by an emergency room doctor. And this guy, I mean, he's a very unusual guy. It's got skeletons all over it, but we had it shipped to upstate New York, had it all painted up, and now we're back on the road with a 1984 Cadillac Hearse. People love it. Driving out here to this gig, a couple of motorcycle guys passed me and gave me, you know, the fist up in the air and that, and people toot at it. Today, I was gassing it up, some guy pulled in, he said, "Boy, that brings back a lot of memories."
There's actually another reason we got the hearse. Since we're a lot older today, we're figuring that if something happens to one of us, we're well taken care of. At least we got the hearse. That saves that cuts our deductions.
Funerals are expensive nowadays.
Or we can just get in the funeral
ready to go.
What the heck if the band doesn't take off. But I have to admit the hearse is kind of a blast.
Well, and if something happens to one of us, we've got to be playing the Hump at our funeral. You realize that. So we've made a pact that we're going to do that. Yeah, that's right. And then the Hump came out, mid-60s, and, you know, banned in Boston, #1 in Miami, made it on the top 100 in the country, and we were just a bunch of young kids having a good time in college.
I remember when the Hump came out, the local station in Rochester, New York, which was an AM station at the time, and AM was the
WBBF.
WBBF hated us because we were the bad boys of Rochester. We didn't follow the format. And you could call in, and the Hump came out at the same time 8 days a week by the Beatles came out. And you could call in every day and vote for your favorite record. And every day we were #1. And they had to play the Hump throughout the day. They must have killed these guys to do it. And there was a local other station, WSAY AM. There was like the underground station, and they'd play all our music all the time, which maybe made it more popular. So it was a lot of fun. When we did that job we had a Battle of the Band contest where we were highlighted. We put it on. We got 4 bands to play for nothing, and we got paid. And we got the guys from WBBF, and we mocked them to no end. I'll never forget that. It was a get back time. But we were always considered kind of the bad boys in Rochester because at that time we were doing things that other bands weren't doing. First band to have a light system. The first band to have a hearse. So we were always pretty good at, it was Herb, pretty good at marketing.
And it's funny, we're still considered the bad boys of Rochester.
That's right. And we're out of the garage again.
Well, and, you know, will the Hump be banned again? We wonder. Will it be banned in Boston? I guess that's okay.
No, probably now they're playing in churches. And it wasn't the song that was bad, it was the connotation, because the words, if you listen to them, have nothing to do with anything.
It was the title.
It was the title and the suggestive dance, which
That's
obviously we didn't do on stage.
Yes, we
Might have
did.
done it later on, but not on stage.
Oh.
But it was the connotation that got it. We actually had to re-record and change it to the hook.
Yeah, which went nowhere.
Which went nowhere and infuriated us.
Right. And remember we were playing in Newark, I think it was one time, and police officer threatened to arrest us if we played the Hump. Well, the crowd was ready to riot, and thank God the police backed down, because there would have been some problems with the crowd, because they wanted us to play the Hump. Wherever we went, we had to play the Hump.